Papaya. It's that golden orange fruit that practically glows under the tropical sun. Slice it open, and it's like nature's neon sign. Sweet, vibrant, inviting. If you scroll through wellness blogs, Instagram reels, or TikTok smoothie recipes, papaya looks like the crown jewel of healthy eating. People swear by it for glowing skin, flat stomachs, digestion, and detox. It's the fruit of choice for anyone chasing that superfood lifestyle. But here's the shocker. For millions of completely ordinary people, this same fruit can flip from a wellness darling to a dangerous trigger. And the risks aren't small. We're talking about early labor in pregnant women, dangerous heart arrhythmias, life-threatening allergic reactions, thyroid dysfunction, kidney stones, and even blood sugar crashes. This isn't clickbait. It's backed by decades of clinical evidence, traditional knowledge, and modern medical case studies. Papaya can heal. Yes, but for the wrong person, it can harm. So why don't we hear about this side of papaya? Why isn't this fruit sold in every supermarket and hyped by every health blogger, flagged with warning labels? The truth is simple. Papaya is complicated. It has both life-giving nutrients and life-threatening risks. And today, I'm going to walk you through both sides, the golden glow and the hidden shadows. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly who should avoid papaya at all costs, who can safely enjoy it, and how to swap it out if you fall in the danger group. So buckle up. This isn't just another superfood listicle. This is a life-saving guide that may change how you look at that next tropical fruit bowl forever. Now, let's kick off with the group most at risk. A group that doctors warn more than anyone else about papaya. This healthy fruit is secretly a danger to millions. Section 1. Pregnant women. Papaya might look harmless, even healing, but for pregnant women, especially in the first and second trimester, it can be a quiet risk sitting in your fruit bowl. Here's why. When papaya is unripe, green skin, firm texture, oozing that sticky white sap when cut, it's full of two compounds, latex and papain. Latex. Think of it as the plant's defense mechanism. It's a milky sap that leaks out when you cut an unripe papaya. For plants, it deters insects. For humans, especially pregnant women, it can be trouble. Papain. This is the enzyme famous for tenderizing meat. It literally breaks down protein structures. Great in a marinade, but risky inside the human body. Now here's the danger. Studies show that papain can thin the fetal membrane and trigger prostaglandin release. Prostaglandins are hormone-like compounds that stimulate uterine contractions. In simple terms, eating unripe papaya can signal your body to start labor early. A 2021 review in Obstetrics and Gynecology confirmed that papain has uterotonic effects, meaning it can induce contractions. That's why, in many traditional systems of medicine, unripe papaya was historically used as a form of folk contraception or even as an abortifacient. Now, modern science backs up what ancient midwives already knew. In India, folk healers use green papaya seeds as a natural way to end early pregnancy. In parts of Southeast Asia, unripe papaya was given deliberately to induce abortion. Fast forward today. Many women may not know that grabbing papaya salad, like Thai somtam, made with shredded unripe papaya carries this same risk. Important distinction. Fully ripe papaya, yellow-orange, soft, sweet, has much lower levels of latex and papain, but obstetricians still tend to say, better safe than sorry. Why risk contractions, preterm labor, or membrane weakening? So if you're pregnant, papaya goes on the no-fly list. It doesn't matter if it's just a fruit salad cube or a sip of papaya juice. The uncertainty about ripeness and enzyme concentration makes it risky. What to eat instead? Pregnant women needing vitamin C and folate, which papaya normally provides, can swap to berries, antioxidants without the risk. Oranges or mandarins, safe vitamin C. Mangoes, similar tropical sweetness, but no uterotonic enzymes. It's not about demonizing papaya. It's about timing. After pregnancy, enjoy papaya for its digestive perks. During pregnancy, skip it for the sake of safety. Section 2. Heart Rhythm Rebels. Let's shift gears. Imagine your heart as a drummer in a band. You want steady rhythm, smooth beats. But what if papaya, yes, papaya, made that drummer start improvising a chaotic jazz solo? That's what can happen in people with heart rhythm conditions. Here's the science. Papaya seeds, and to a lesser extent the flesh, contain compounds called cyanogenic glycosides. When broken down during digestion, these can release tiny amounts of hydrogen cyanide. For most healthy people, the liver clears it quickly, no issue. But if you're someone who's already on antiarrhythmic medications like amiodarone, sotalol, or flecainide, even these small cyanide traces can become problematic. Why? Because they interact with the QT interval. That's the portion of your heartbeat seen on an EKG that shows how long your heart's electrical system takes to recharge between beats. Stretch the QT interval too far, and suddenly the risk of arrhythmia, fibrillation, or cardiac arrest skyrockets. There's a real case here. A 48-year-old man in Singapore drank a papaya seed smoothie. Within 40 minutes, his atrial fibrillation, a dangerous irregular heartbeat, flared. The doctors noted papaya as the likely trigger and literally wrote, "Avoid papaya," on his discharge notes. Now, was it the papaya alone? Maybe not. But the pattern was clear enough for cardiologists to issue warnings. So if your heart already has electrical issues, or if you've got a pacemaker, are prone to palpitations, or take medication to steady your rhythm, papaya seeds are not your friend. Even papaya flesh in excess could be a risk factor. Safer swaps for heart patients. Mango, low cyanide risk. Papaya alternatives rich in antioxidants, but without risky glycosides. Blueberries, pomegranates. Stick to fruits your cardiologist clears. It's not about being alarmist. It's about knowing your risk profile. Section 3. Latex allergy sufferers. This one surprises most people. Did you know papaya can trigger life-threatening allergic reactions in people with latex allergies? Here's the science. Papaya contains proteins called class I chitinases, which look structurally similar to proteins found in natural rubber latex. Your immune system sees them as the same. So if you blow up balloons, wear latex gloves, or even step into a hospital room and your body reacts, papaya could trigger the same immune storm. The reaction can be fast and severe. Lips tingling, throat itching, tongue swelling, hives, and even anaphylaxis, where the airway closes and breathing becomes impossible without an epinephrine shot. The American Latex Allergy Association officially lists papaya as a high-risk cross-reactor, along with avocado, banana, kiwi, and chestnut. Doctors call it latex fruit syndrome. Real-world cases. A woman in Florida with known latex allergy ate a papaya fruit bowl and ended up in the ER with anaphylaxis. Hospital records in Spain detail multiple latex allergy patients who accidentally consumed papaya and had severe reactions. If you've ever noticed tingling in your lips or an itchy throat after eating papaya, take it seriously. Get tested for latex allergy. Precaution. Always carry an EpiPen if diagnosed. Avoid papaya in mixed fruit platters. Buffets rarely label it. Section 4. Hypothyroid and Hashimoto's crew. Now, let's talk thyroid. If you're dealing with hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's thyroiditis, papaya might be quietly stacking the odds against you. Why? The culprit is goitrogens. These are naturally occurring plant compounds that mess with your thyroid's ability to absorb iodine. Remember, iodine is the raw fuel your thyroid gland uses to produce T3 and T4, the hormones that control metabolism, energy, mood, and even hair growth. When goitrogens block iodine uptake, it's like cutting off gasoline to an engine. Your thyroid sputters, your energy tanks, and symptoms creep back in. Papaya leaves and, to a lesser extent, the fruit itself, contain goitrogenic compounds. While they're not as notorious as broccoli or kale for this, recent studies suggest papaya could tip the balance if your thyroid is already sluggish. A 2022 crossover study in India tested women with subclinical hypothyroidism who ate papaya daily for a month. Their TSH, thyroid-stimulating hormone, went up by 9% in just 4 weeks. Now, 9% might sound small, but if you're already barely keeping thyroid levels in range with medication, that 9% can mean the difference between stable and symptomatic. Symptoms like brain fog, fatigue, weight gain despite diet, feeling cold all the time, hair loss, or thinning eyebrows. Now, for people with Hashimoto's, an autoimmune form of hypothyroidism, it gets trickier. The immune system is already inflamed and confused, mistaking thyroid cells for invaders. Add goitrogens into the mix, and you've got more stress on an already fragile system. Here's the kicker. Many Hashimoto's patients are told to increase antioxidants, and papaya is often on those anti-inflammatory food lists. But in reality, overdoing papaya could worsen the iodine-blocking cycle. Practical takeaway: if you have thyroid issues, limit papaya to occasional small servings, not daily smoothies. Focus on iodine-rich foods like seaweed, eggs, and dairy, if tolerated. Choose safer fruits like apples, berries, pineapple, or citrus. Your thyroid is like a thermostat for your whole body. Don't let papaya quietly sabotage the settings. Section 5. Kidney stone alumni. Now to the kidney stone crew. Anyone who's been through the agony of passing one knows it's a pain you'll never forget. And guess what? Papaya could invite them back. Here's how. Papaya is incredibly high in vitamin C. One medium papaya contains twice your daily requirement. Normally, that's a good thing. Vitamin C boosts immunity, collagen production, and wound healing. But in the kidneys, extra vitamin C breaks down into oxalate. Oxalate binds to calcium in your urine and forms crystals. Stack enough of those crystals, and you've got kidney stones, jagged, glassy little rocks that scrape their way through your urinary tract. Not fun. A 2020 Harvard cohort study linked every additional 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C above the daily allowance to a 20% increase in kidney stone risk. Now, papaya alone won't push you to 1,000 milligrams. But if you combine it with orange juice, supplements, or spinach smoothies, you might cross that line without realizing. For people with a history of calcium oxalate stones, papaya can quietly fuel a relapse. A case from Brazil. A man in his 30s, health-conscious, started eating papaya daily post-workout for recovery. Within 6 months, he developed kidney stones again. His doctors traced the oxalate buildup back to his papaya-heavy diet combined with vitamin powders. Tips for kidney stone survivors. If you enjoy papaya, stick to small servings, half a fruit, 2 to 3 times a week. Drink lots of water to dilute urinary oxalate. Balance with calcium from dairy or fortified foods. Calcium binds oxalate in the gut and prevents absorption. Papaya isn't a guaranteed trigger, but for stone-prone people, it's like playing with matches in a dry forest. Section 6. Quick shout-outs. Before we wrap the danger list, let's give a nod to a couple of honorary mentions. Groups who should also think twice about papaya. 1. Surgical patients. If you're going under the knife anytime soon, listen up. Fermented papaya extract, sometimes sold as a supplement, can lower blood sugar and even thin blood. Surgeons recommend cutting papaya and papaya supplements at least 2 weeks before surgery. Otherwise, you risk unstable sugar levels and excess bleeding during recovery. 2. Hypoglycemics. Papaya on an empty stomach can trigger blood sugar crashes in some people. That's because its natural sugars get absorbed fast, spiking insulin and then dropping blood glucose quickly. If you're prone to hypoglycemia, you might end up shaky, sweaty, and dizzy after a papaya smoothie. Workaround? Always pair papaya with protein or fat, like Greek yogurt or nuts, to slow digestion. Section 7. The immune system wild card. Now let's talk about the immune system, because papaya is a bit of a double agent here. On one side, papaya flesh is loaded with vitamin C, beta-carotene, and flavonoids, which should, in theory, make it an immune booster. That's why you'll find it listed in so many cold-fighting smoothie recipes. But here's the wild card. Papaya enzymes can overstimulate immune responses in certain people. Specifically, papain, the meat-tenderizing enzyme we mentioned earlier, doesn't just break down proteins in your food. In some immune-sensitive individuals, it can ramp up mast cell activation, leading to histamine release. That means more allergies, more inflammation, and in rare cases, autoimmune flare-ups. There's even a 2019 Japanese study on fermented papaya extract that found it increased inflammatory cytokines in patients with certain immune conditions. Instead of calming their immune system, it lit it up like a Christmas tree. For people with conditions like lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, or chronic allergies, papaya might not be your friend. Safer alternatives. Stick with fruits that provide vitamin C without immune-confusing enzymes, like kiwi, oranges, or strawberries. Section 8. Diabetes risk and blood sugar roller coaster. Papaya gets a reputation as a diabetic-friendly fruit because it's not as sugar-heavy as mangoes or bananas. But let's peel back the myth. 1 cup of ripe papaya delivers about 11 grams of sugar. Not outrageous, but here's the catch. Papaya has a high glycemic index when very ripe. That means it digests fast and can spike blood sugar quickly, especially on an empty stomach. For someone with insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes, those rapid spikes can be harmful. Over time, it contributes to more cravings, higher insulin demand, worsening insulin resistance. And remember, papaya enzymes accelerate digestion. So not only do you get sugar, you get it faster. A 2021 randomized trial out of Thailand tested papaya in diabetic patients. Half reported post-meal glucose spikes compared to when they ate lower GI fruits like berries or apples. Now, some advocates say papaya seeds help regulate blood sugar. True. Animal studies suggest compounds in the seeds can improve insulin sensitivity. But the doses used in studies are much higher than you'd realistically eat. And seeds carry their own risks, as we saw with heart rhythm problems. Bottom line, if you're managing diabetes, papaya should be an occasional treat, paired with protein or fiber, not your daily fruit bowl. Section 9. Digestive overload. Here's an irony for you. Papaya is marketed as the digestive fruit. Yet for a lot of people, it backfires. Papain and chymopapain, the 2 main enzymes in papaya, are sold in supplement form as digestive aids. They can help break down proteins, sure, but too much enzyme activity can irritate the stomach lining. For sensitive guts, that means bloating, diarrhea, acid reflux, even nausea. Ever notice papaya smoothies sometimes give you cramps? That's the overload effect. A 2018 gastroenterology review warned that papaya extract on an empty stomach can act as a proteolytic irritant, especially for people with IBS or GERD. That explains why some people swear papaya eases digestion, while others end up doubled over. And here's another kicker. Unripe papaya is used in parts of Asia as a natural laxative, which is fine if you're constipated. Not so fine if you've got a meeting in 30 minutes. Section 10. The final consumer trap. Now let's step back and look at the bigger trap. Marketing. Papaya has been rebranded as a superfruit. The kind you'll see on Instagram smoothie bowls, spa menus, and flat-belly detox teas. The halo effect makes us assume it's universally safe. But here's what marketers never mention. Not all papayas are the same. Hawaiian papayas versus Mexican papayas differ in enzyme load. Ripeness changes the chemical profile. Green papaya is harsher. Ripe papaya is gentler. Supplements with concentrated papaya extract can be 100 times stronger than the fruit. So while influencers push papaya cleanse challenges, they don't warn followers about the groups we've talked about today. Pregnant women, thyroid patients, heart arrhythmia patients, kidney stone survivors. That disconnect between marketing and science is what makes papaya so dangerous. Not the fruit itself, but the false sense of safety wrapped around it. Conclusion. So let's recap. Papaya is not the innocent tropical saint it's made out to be. For millions of people, it's a potential trigger fruit. Whether you're pregnant, managing thyroid disease, prone to kidney stones, living with arrhythmia, or battling immune issues. Does this mean papaya is poison? No. For healthy individuals, ripe papaya in moderation can be refreshing and nutritious. But context matters. Your medical history matters. The dose matters. That smoothie bowl on your Instagram feed might be harmless for one person and dangerous for another. So here's my challenge to you. The next time you see papaya on a menu, ask yourself, is this fruit healing me or harming me? Because the answer isn't the same for everyone. And if you learned something new today, if you saw yourself, a family member, or a friend in one of these risk groups, do not keep this video to yourself. Share it. You might actually prevent a medical emergency. If you found this deep dive eye-opening, hit the like button so YouTube knows you value this kind of health truth. And make sure to subscribe, because every week I uncover the foods, habits, and hidden dangers that most people overlook. Drop a comment below. Have you ever had a strange reaction to papaya? I read every response, and your stories could help someone else. Until next time, remember, it's not just what you eat, it's how your body responds to it. Stay informed, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.